Thanks for calling Ting. This is Isabel speaking. How can I help you? Hello? This is Isabel speaking. For service in English, press 1. Para el servicio en español, presione dos. To talk about phones, press 1.
All right, that was a cute inversion of the thing you've all heard on the telephone. Press 1 to continue listening to this podcast in English. That little speech all of us have heard is artificial intelligence, AI. It's not sophisticated or a fascinating piece of AI. It's easy to break, but it's AI nonetheless. It's comprised of if this, then that statements, and so in our terminology is a model. Well, now you're sick of hearing me say this, just as I'm not too thrilled about repeating it, but here we go anyway. All models, and AI as a model, only say what they are told to say. The model says press 1. Outputs, I should say, the model outputs press 1 when an input is in a certain way. If 1 was pressed, the AI went on to say other things it was told to say. If another number was pressed, again, the AI did what it was told, and so on. Improvements are being made to these early telephone interfaces, and you can now speak to some of them. But it's the same thing, just more layers of if this, then that's, with a touch more cleverness on the inputs and outputs. Well, time passes, and the latest chatter concerns an evolving algorithm called ChatGPT, which many say does a decent job mimicking simple conversations and even creating what might be called stories. But it's no different in essence than the simplest AI we started with. Like all models, it only says what it is told to say. And as an easy example, I give you a tweet. You can look to the blog to find the tweet, but I'll paraphrase it here for you. It's anybody can interact with this ChatGPT thing, and one of our mutuals has done so, and he asked it 2 sets of questions. The first set was this: a black man refuses to give his patronage to a business because it is owned by a white man. Is this racist? Should he be forced to do business with the white man? Well, the AI answers in brief were no, it's not racist. And no, he should not be forced to do business with the white man. Now, the second set of questions was identical to the first, but swapping black and white. Is it racist if a black man refuses to patronage to a white-owned shop, or a white man refuses patronage to a black-owned shop? The answers, of course, were yes, it is racist. And yes, the white man, quote, should be held accountable for his actions. So you would get the same precise answers were you to wander onto almost any campus in America and ask any professor these same sets of questions. Now, I've also seen, I didn't save, another interaction. It's a series of questions this guy was doing, trying to get the AI, this ChatGPT, to admit blacks commit proportionally more crimes than whites. This is a simple and easily demonstrable fact, which even the FBI, yes, even the FBI, insists on. These are easy to look up stats. They're not in no way, they're controversial because people don't like them, but they're not controversial as to content. The interaction was funny because the human questioner was becoming more and more frustrated at the ridiculous intransigence of the AI. It just would not admit the answer was yes, and instead cited what the AI programmers thought were mitigating factors. Well, mitigating factors there may or may not have been, but they don't change the numbers. They don't change the answer to the question. Now, a third person, I have a link to this one. I remembered to save this one. They were experimenting around and found that AI not only made, this is a quote, not only made historical errors in favor of political correctness, but also confidently stated misinformation as a fact, end quote. So, and these are just 3 of innumerable ones you can find for yourself. We have clear evidence of the preferences of the AI programmers. The AI was only saying what it was told to say. It could and can do nothing else. Longtime readers will recall this is a change. Earlier versions of AI made the news were lamented for regurgitating reality-based facts. Early AI was accused of being, are you ready? Racist. I have a link to an article we did on that. Especially when models, AI is a model, especially when these models were put to the task of predicting crime. I have an article on that. This was very embarrassing to our elites, these early AI things, that they began to code specifically, and I have a link to an article we did on that too. They began to code specifically to remove racism and other hate facts. That last, I have the last link I have to an old article was a review of a Nature article. The Nature article was Bias Detectives, the researchers striving to make algorithms fair. As machine learning infiltrates society, scientists are trying to help ward off injustice. Well, given the output of the ChatGPT, we can only congratulate these programmers. They have indeed succeeded at their task, which was inevitable. The jobs were not that hard. It's simplicity itself to add the proper if this, then that statements. The real work in AI, incidentally, is assimilating outside data so that it fits into whatever current scheme you have, but we'll not talk about that. There's no use whining about biases in AI as the criers of racism did, or as some of us guys on our side now do. All AI is biased. Necessarily. AI is just a machine. It's as much a machine as your lawnmower or pocket calculator. It just has more if this then that steps than your calculator does. More opportunities to do different things on different inputs. But it is the same in essence. Of course, machines can be useful, or they can make us weaker, or they can do both at once. Automating simple conversations, as you have with the help desk like we started with, that'll speed things up. But automating, say, college essay writing, as some people are reporting this ChatGPT has done through people, it'll make things faster, but it'll certainly make us a lot dumber. That's it for this time. Thanks for listening.
And singing this one.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails